Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we are actually going to talk about our second part of writing your module or your adventure or your scenario, whatever you want to call it. So last video we sort of talked about putting the framework together and the encounters that we'd had. So now I'll show you filling that out, what we do, and we'll also post up the adventure as written, so you can have a look at that, run it if you want, etc. So let's jump into it then, shall we? Okay, so what we're talking about here is part two of writing our adventure. So if we remember where we were travelling from Stormhold to the ruins of the Deepwater Kingdom to recover a legendary item. So I've gone through and had a look at all of those things in the last episode that we sort of said we needed to do. So let's go through some of those. I'm not going to read them through again. You've probably seen that video, so no point rehashing that. But they were the things we needed to do. So let's start out with some of the initial questions. So, how do the players fit into the world? So, in this particular case, let's make them part of a guild, which is Monster Hunters and Recovery. That gives us plenty of scope to do other things with those characters, if you like, in the future. And really, the introduction will be that they're going to be commissioned by the Chamberlain of the Ancient Library in the palace, who's come to realise that an old and very valuable magical item called the Faceted Resonator, which was believed to have been lost in the destruction of Deepwater, is actually still in existence. So he's come into some information to say that it's been hidden in a mine, small mine somewhere in the ruins. And this was something which was loaned to the Kingdom of Deepwater by Northumbria, and effectively it helps in identifying and discovering some valuable crystals in mining the mining operation. So, needless to say, could be quite valuable. So he's commissioned them to find this device and return it to him. So, unfortunately, what will happen is that there'll also be other spies in the capital which have found this out. And they will, maybe they're from Wessex, maybe they're from somewhere else. They will try to also get the device, but maybe make the characters do all of the hard work. Who knows? So let's work through then. So we came up with our encounters in the last video. So there's apart from obviously some introduction and conclusion type stuff, we've got about 13 there. And what I've done there is I've broken them up between role playing, combat, and puzzle solving. So as you can see there, we've probably got about 5 or so-ish pure sort of role-playing type encounters, a number of combat encounters, and a couple of puzzle encounters as well too, just to try to get a mix. So this mix is probably a little bit weighted towards the combat stuff, but hopefully reasonably balanced, and will fit into that sort of 3-hour type time frame that we're aiming to do. So with those encounters, like one of them, as you can see, is a troll, encounter number 8. So what I normally do is I sort of build up a stat block for that, so I don't have to go referring to any of the manuals or anything else while we're in play. So I'll build up the stat block for a particular monster. This one's sourced from D&D Beyond, and just reformat it into a format for the actual file itself. So as you can see there, it kind of has everything that we need to know in terms of the troll, its attributes, what it can do, etc. And so you'll build that out for all of the other combat-based encounters that you do have. So it just makes it easier. Then you don't have to keep referring back and forwards to various books. Following on from that, here's one of the examples of the actual encounter itself in the mines. So didn't want to make it into a big dungeon bash, given that we're sort of trying to keep it fairly limited in terms of the time that we allocate to this game. It's going to be a one-shot. So enough detail in the mine to provide some interest, whilst also not being too large, so to speak. And so we've got the summary there of the areas, what's in there. And we've got 2 riddles. One, which we'll get to a little bit later, is to get into the mine. The other is to open up the actual treasure chest, which contains the device. So as you can see, we've sort of got the riddle there in that one as well too. the characters were going to stay at an inn, and I had one already prepared for another module which I've written. So I drew a simple ground floor, first floor inn type scenario using Incarnate, which is available online. You sign up. You can subscribe to it and actually get all of the features. I've just got a free account, so I'm kind of limited to, I think, around 10 maps, I think it is. But a very good tool for having a look at this. So that's a fairly simple inn. So downstairs serving food and drink, upstairs lodgings for the night. And then what I normally do too is I will actually have things like box text. So if I don't feel like winging it in terms of descriptions and providing the context for where the characters are, often I'll write some box text. So then when I sort of come back to running the module, all I need to do is just read that box text, and it provides enough information to provide the flavour, but also to make it easier for me to run too. So in this particular one is for the ferryman. And as you can see, it's sort of like, it's not too long. Some of them can be a little bit long at times, but it just provides the context for what's happening there. Now, lastly, we did say that we'd probably do some pre-gen, so I did have some pre-gen set up, again in D&D Beyond, and I thought maybe we'll just have like a party of 4 level 3/level 4 type characters, give it a kind of rounded out view of like a fighter, a cleric, a rogue, and a sorceress sort of thing. It doesn't. This is just as a recommendation. You can get the players to roll up their own characters if they like, or otherwise just seriously just use some of your own pre-gens or generate what sort of party you would like. Again, you want to make it more thematic. Maybe monster hunters are multi-class. Maybe they're all the same class. I don't know. I think that's really up to how you want to run your show. So what we've got the basis for that. So I won't go through the whole module end to end now, but it's about, I think, around about 15 or 20 pages of the context that you sort of just saw, and I'm going to post that up to the Google Drive. The Google Drive link will be in the description for this video, so have a look at that. Have a run of it if you want, see if you like it. I'm going to try to get some players together and maybe play that through at some point, maybe not in the next video, but in a couple of videos time, and we might dissect that and see what we think about how that went, maybe the lessons we've learned along the way, and what else we can do. So hopefully that's really good. I hope you enjoy, and remember to keep having fun. Cheers.